Hello everyone, my name is John Gagné. I'm the CEO of MasterpieceVR, and I'm extremely excited about the collision of art and technology, and used in a very practical way. Around 2005, I started doing research in how humans take from what's in their mind and to put it into reality. After that, I built some of the algorithms inside of virtual reality for tracking, and then I worked in machine learning. And when you combine these together, it becomes something very powerful. So today, I'm going to be talking to you about the next generation of 3D content generation. I'm going to be taking you from traditional, how content is made today, to how this new modern approach with virtual reality is improving that workflow. And then the exciting part is after that, I'll show how future technologies will be combining to make something that is tremendously powerful, to give artists and designers the ability to easily take what's in their mind and put it into reality. And one step further as well is to democratize 3D content creation. So even if you don't have those skills, you can quickly and easily create that content. So today, this is the traditional way that 3D content is made. Using 3D models, you can create characters. You can create these characters for gaming, for entertainment, such as movies and TV. You can create it for fine art, whether it's a sculpture or something just to experience. And this is readily used in product creation as well. Everything from the marketing to the design of the product to breaking down that product and in the exact components that make up it. Now, these 3D models have a big problem today, is that they're created using a 2D interface. So there's essentially a mismatch between the 3D and the 2D. And this is making creating and learning very difficult, long, and expensive, where it can take hours to days to create a single piece of content. And it can take years to be able to learn how to use these software really well. You know, these software such as Maya, 3D Studio Max, ZBrush. But to really capture and to understand the mismatch between the 2D and the 3D, I'd like to go back down to 1D, using a 1D device to draw a 2D picture. So, you know, who's used an Etch-a-Sketch? If you see these things, they're fun, but they're very difficult to use. If you're very good, you might be able to make the Starry Night in an Etch-a-Sketch, but most of us won't be able to do that. It's because there's a mismatch between the 1 dimension and the 2D. If instead you take a natural 2D interface, like a Wacom tablet, you can create 2D pictures very easily. And it's very intuitive to do this. And this is exactly what we're doing with 3D. If you take a 3D interface to create 3D, then creating naturally is very easy and natural. And the most natural 3D interface that has ever been created is virtual reality. And when you do 3D modeling in virtual reality, you can use your hands to sculpt and paint. It's fast and natural. We've demonstrated up to 7 times quicker at creating 3D content, and over 100 times quicker to learn. Where 3D modeling used to take, you know, organic 3D modeling could take hundreds of hours to learn the basics of, within seconds you can start to sculpt. So let me show you an example about what I mean. So this video that you just saw, we created about a year ago. This allows you, an artist or designer, to come into that space, to work collaboratively with a team, and then to export it uses the rest of your workflow. Since then, here to demonstrate some of the newer types of models that people have now been able to create as the software continues to evolve. So as you can see, this software was sculpted using our software. And these things were created quickly. You know, as that image you just saw was created in less than 2 hours. And then we can take it and render it using, you know, any traditional type of rendering software. So there's multiple apps now emerging in this space. I've talked to you a little bit about MasterpieceVR. We're a tool that can be used in many ways. We also have this really powerful component, which I'll get into later. But it's important to also recognize the other types of apps in this space that are highly valuable. Google Blocks. This is an excellent app to making low polygon type models, where the barrier to entry to 3D modeling is very low. Google Tilt Brush. As many of you, and this is probably the most common one, as many of you know, it allows you to paint with color and effects right through the air. And although you can export it, it's not particularly strong at being used outside of the program. It does make a very nice experience for any of the creations within it. Gravity Sketch. This is primarily designed for as a design tool. It allows you to make curves on the surfaces and allow you to modify them easily. Right now this is targeting at the car industry, but it can be used in other places as well. Oculus Medium. This is a great sculpting tool where you can do fine detail in the object, although it is limited to sculpting. Quill. Quill's great if you're a traditional painter and you want a kind of a painting canvas to do into 3D. Now these virtual tools have many benefits, but here just to name a couple. For fine artists, this allows you a medium where you can create naturally, just as you would in the real world. For a 2D artist, it now allows you to create instantly into 3D. Something before that wasn't previously possible without going through all that training. For a 3D artist, this allows you to create content quicker. And for a designer, this will allow you to rapidly prototype the content you need and to visualize it in a real world scale and size. Now, once these virtual reality headsets become widespread, this technology will be even more powerful. And this is exactly the goals of the major tech companies right now. I've sat here and watched Mark Zuckerberg speak about how he's going to put a billion people into virtual reality. And if there's one person in the world that knows how to do that, it's him. And he's not the only one. As you can see, all these other companies are heavily vested, have entire departments devoted to this technology. Even companies such as HTC have pivoted their entire company just for virtual reality. Now, as these headsets become widespread, the use will allow us to be more like we do in real life. And in real life, products aren't created as individuals. Teams work together to both provide feedback, to create, and to show to their customers. And at the moment, this is one of the things that's very lacking in virtual reality, particularly with the creation tools. So this is exactly what we've built. MasterpieceVR is the first collaborative sculpting and painting application in the world that allows you to give real-time feedback, speak to each other, and leave comments, as well as anybody can add and adjust the model. There's no other 3D modeling software, either VR or even traditional, that allows you to do this. This is useful for gaming and animation and studios in general, for everything from ideation to rapid prototyping. to pre-visualization, and then you can then take that content and bring it into a sort of traditional software then to finish the workflow if you're looking for something high-end in AAA. This is also useful for education and teaching, where a professor can show the class how to create 3D very easily in real time, and how have everyone else fit in and work together. Now, collaborating together in real time is powerful, but when you add on top of it sharing with each other and remixing, it becomes even more powerful. Instead of starting from something from scratch, you can take and stand on the shoulders of the giants. You can take their art and work on it from there to use it as a template to either improve your capability or to allow you to create quicker. Another powerful technology that's coming is 3D scanning. It is now possible to take your cell phone and scan images and then use that inside of virtual reality. And as we incorporate these pieces, it'll become increasingly powerful to do so. As well as these virtual reality headsets have cameras. In the near future, when we take these cameras and we use it to scan our environment, we don't have to model it from scratch. We can take the scanned object and use it in the beginning of that and modify it from there to use it in our workflow. Machine learning is becoming powerful as well, where you see examples here of the top images combined and automatically create a new one. This could be applicable in virtual reality if you have one type of object. Say you have a chair and you say, I like the way this one looks, but I want the style of this one more. Now machines can automatically do that for you. And it's really powerful what it's starting to do in synthesis. This scene here, looks like a regular street, but in reality it was created by a computer. All the user had to do here was to paint the road. They didn't have to paint the texture or anything. They just said road. They just say cars. They just say trees and posts. And it automatically creates them. And it automatically adjusts them based on everything else in the scene. So you're not actually painting objects. You're literally just taking a paintbrush and passing it through the scene, and it will automatically create it. And what's really powerful now is this types of technology is starting to scale to 3D. Now, can you imagine being inside virtual reality with a brush that's a car brush, and you can just paint a car? This is really exciting where this is going. And what's even more powerful is when you combine all these technologies. When you take virtual reality, the ability to remix the content, the ability to collaborate with people and your team in real time, with scanning the environment, and with machine learning to help you assemble it as a smart tool or an assistant. All of these combined will allow you to make that content and take what's in your mind and put it into reality very quickly. And we're not talking 20 years here. We're talking the next few years. All these current technologies are in research stage, and we're currently developing them in-house. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening. And this has been my discussion on the next generation of 3D content generation. Once again, my name is Jonathan Gagné, and you can reach me up there if needed. Thank you.